Offered here is easily one of the more exciting vintage basketball cards I think that I've ever handled in my day. This is a white whale of a card, and comes from a series that really comes with its own lore and uncertainty. The 68 Topps Test Productions, which did feature more than just basketball, there's also some baseball cards floating around, etc. Is just one of the more obscure and unique productions that existed from the whole Topps production reign. Offered here is probably the most coveted rookie card from the issue. There were only 22 cards in the set, 15 of them which were Hall of Famers. Most of those were on the NBA's all-time top 50 list, so it was clear that Topps went out of its way to really produce a set that was highly coveted. The fact that Havlicek would be featured as a rookie, predating his more common 1969 Topps Tallboy issue, considered by many to be like the true rookie of Havlicek, and this is certainly a card that few people have ever seen. This is the first time we've ever handled a copy. The story of the 68 Topps Test is one that's kind of marred in controversy, but the gist of it is that what we perceive is that Topps had their basketball production, which they rolled out in 1957, and they hadn't done anything for a decade. There's speculation that maybe they were preparing to get licensing from the NBA, and so in order to do that, you had to submit samples to the NBA in order to get that licensing, or at least to have a chance of getting that licensing. It's also clear that this 68 Topps Test production largely remained within the confines of the Topps manufacturing company. Never did these ever enter the public space in the classic sense. They were never in retail stores available for purchase. And every time what few copies do exist surface, if you trace them back, the lineage is usually there's some connection to some Topps employee. So very few of these exist. Again, only a few hundred are ever been assessed. There's only a couple dozen that have been graded an 8. This is one of a couple Havliceks that have been assessed at that level, and as it says, it's just one of the more impressive and important rookie cards that has a really good story behind it, given all of the Topps Test production details that were just described. So aside from all of that, this is just a really tough card in addition to everything else that is going against it from a production quantity perspective. The Topps Test issues, this is part of a mosaic that come together makes a picture of Wilt Chamberlain. So if you had all 22 cards, it would make a full-size Chamberlain photo on the back. The Havlicek is, of course, card number 5. And as an 8, it's a very pretty example. Centering is usually a big problem on this issue. This one is very well framed, maybe just a couple points off right to left and top to bottom, but very well squared up and aesthetically clean and well conditioned throughout. The corners are excellent. It's a card which was clearly worthy of the assigned technical grade in our opinion. Just an incredibly rare offering for those of you who really position yourselves in the space with the best of the best from a rookie card perspective. This is one of these cards that you just can't ever find. Forget the grade. Price points remain, in our opinion, sort of awkwardly low compared to the supply issues as they exist. And certainly with Havlicek being a top 50 all-time NBA player, this is a really special offering. So we just couldn't be more delighted to have it. Thought it'd be fun to shoot a video about it. And for those who weren't aware of this production, you're not alone, but now you're aware. And we encourage the investors the best of luck in trying to position themselves on this card.